Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is the Gachiakuta After Show, where each week we're talking out the trash and breaking down the latest from the anime series, sharing our favorite moments, and so much more. It's your boy, LeAlec Murray.
It's me, Alex Lebl.
And we are going to enter the abyss together. Okay, so before we get to this week's episode, a little bit of housekeeping. As you guys may have noticed, we did not have a new episode last week, so we wanted to kind of give everybody a chance to catch up, because I know the season is moving very fast. We're moving very fast, so we took our own little anime core break. Took one episode off so everybody can kind of catch up, you know? But
Bi-week.
Bi-week, yeah, it was our bi-week. But going forward, we'll be watching and talking about the episode with you, starting with episode 14 this week. Before we get into the meat of episode 14, looks like we got a comment from Spotify. Alex, you wanna walk us through this one?
Absolutely, yeah. We got a comment from Emily on Spotify, as you mentioned. I've been thinking about this one since I read this.
Oh, same.
So Emily says, I have a theory that Regto was the second angel, and the first one returned to the ground after seeing Rudo sent to the pit. So that is blowing my mind. I don't know if I have enough to fully believe it, but the idea is now planted, and I'm just going to be thinking about that every episode from now on.
Same, man, because it's like, okay, do we have like a betrayal moment that happens between the two of them? And that's why, like, you know, when Rudo walked in, you know, on Regto, like, you know, being killed, like, was that, you know, the two angels, like, their relationship falling apart? Like, so as soon as I read this, same as you, I was like, oh, I didn't even like try and connect that or think about that. But then you also add the extra layer of, you know, Regto gave the gloves to Rudo and the angels gave the boots to Amo.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that question made me remember. I feel like so much has happened in the show that once I read that comment, I was like, oh yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, literally. It my brain immediately started spinning out.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should head into the recap, shall we?
Yeah, because a lot happened.
This was a very dense episode.
This is a meaty episode. This is a meatloaf of an episode.
Yeah, like it's strange that we find that like the more like in between episodes, between action or like slice of life moments, there's a lot more storytelling or dense parts that we get in here, because I feel like they're trying to pack in the stuff that we don't see to give like context to the extra characters. But speaking of extra characters, we meet Dr. Alice's grandchildren, and what do you know? It's Alex and Aisha, and boy, are they loud.
The shoutiest family in anime. I mean, they've certainly risen to the top. They are just screaming at each other and everyone else.
Yeah, and I think this also kind of reaffirms how much I like August as a character, even though we really don't see him a lot. He's just a loud punk rocker that just wants to like be creative and do what he wants, you know, even to the point to where he's loud and honest about it. Like he's, you know, eating the sweet set, you know, Dr. Alice made, and he's like, these suck, and he's still eating them, but Rudo's in the back like, no, these are actually pretty good. That was pretty interesting. But you know, also what's interesting about this is that they show up to Dr. Alice, the cleaners do, because the gang was, after the fight with Amo, like everybody was a little bit banged up, so they needed some extra TLC to get over, you know, some of the more like infections or bruises or anything that they had. So then we experience a trash storm for the first time.
Yeah, scary. Don't like those.
No, this seemed very like, not a place you want to be. So Engine kind of gives us some insight on the trash storms, basically saying that like these storms happen when the sphere moves and all of their trash just starts descending on the ground. And, you know, all of the people that live on the ground, they had to actually make like shelters for themselves, like across the ground and like in cities and stuff when this happens, because like when the trash drops, it's not like, oh, we're dropping like napkins or like cans. Like, no, it's like heavy pieces of like machinery and like
washing machines,
and debris and like stuff that like right. It's just like they're literally anything they just threw out is just hitting the ground. But after that, Cleaner HQ also has a little bit of a infestation. Semiu proves to be the coolest character on the planet. I don't want to talk about it too much because that was in my pit poll. And if I do, we'll just be here forever.
Yeah.
And the show will never finish. And we end up going to celebrate at Don Dos's, but there's something a little strange about what's happening at this establishment, right? Like, the whole time the cleaners are celebrating, we find that there's like these shadowy figures that are also in the bar. And it's cool because there's this old guy that's kind of like explaining what's happening around him, and he also kind of like notes that the cleaners are like just some nasty looking people. Just based off their eyes, like, these guys are scary. And the interaction culminates into Rudo having a altercation with one of the hooded figures in the bar, and they happen to have Amo's boots.
Yeah, that was a WTF moment. That was an oh no, like heart, stomach sinks. Like it's about to go down.
Yeah. So with that, let's go right into the dumpster dive.
Dumpster dive. Here we go. Got my swimming cap on.
That's me diving. Okay, so let's circle back to this altercation with Rudo and this mystery guy. We see, and we've seen this other giver before, the one that has the manhole cover and has the teleportation power. They come back, and the guy that Rudo's in conflict with immediately like drags him off, and we kind of realize that this was a setup. Right? Like, they specifically showed up at this place because they knew the cleaners would be here and dragged Rudo away. But, the rest of the cleaner crew was, super quick, like just on it. And they were able to, everybody but the supports were able to follow Rudo to make sure that, he wasn't, going by himself. But what also ends up happening is that there's a major standoff at the end, and it's probably one of the coolest shots I've seen in the show so far. And the show has so many cool shots, but you see this group of raiders and the cleaners lined up, and the only words that come out of anybody's mouth at the time is like, Rudo says, "What did you do to Amo?" And you immediately know that stuff is about to pop off, which is insane, because if I'm remembering the name of the episode correctly, it's The Storm Before the Storm, I think is the name of the episode. Yeah. And it plays into so much, because it's like, we're talking about the trash storms and why these happen. We're talking about, the underlying story that we've been dealing with the whole time with what's Rudo's secret, and, what's the secret behind, these pieces of gear, this Watchmen series. And then now we have this crew that Jabber's a part of, and, this mysterious, manhole, giver, and this elite looking boss guy that we know has another piece of the series. And it's just like all of this stuff is just now culminating into like one major like beat for the series, for the rest of the series. For sure. And it's still so unknown what exactly the leader's power is, or what his ability is. Like, it's clearly something with electronics and specifically televisions, but even then when he's able to control it and it turns to the weather forecast and he's alluding to storms there too, it's just another element of like, he knew exactly what he was about to get everyone into. And even the fact that he is powerful enough, it's like a big bad boy move when you're like, yeah, I'll tell you, I'm the leader. I don't need, there's no mystery. I'm confident enough to tell you that I am the leader and that you're not going to be able to do anything about it because I am that strong. So just that sinking feeling, and it built the tension so well leading up to that, because once something kind of feels a little bit off, then you start to think like, oh, I've seen someone that size before with Jabber, and then you see things that look familiar, like they even have the communication devices on their neck, but they're not quite the same, and it's just something feels off about this. And then you see the boots and it's oh no, like you really do just think oh no. And that's like a masterful moment in the series, to your point about like some of the coolest shots in the series, that it's able to build that tension so well, and you really can't help but feel that sinking feeling. And then once everyone gets sucked into the same spot, you're like, all right, it's about to go down, this is about to be the battle we've really been waiting for this entire show. Yeah. And also what's interesting, I don't know if you noticed this, and probably because I play way too many fighting games and I love tournament arcs or whatever, but if you look at the shots that happen, like as we're closing out this episode, you kind of see certain raiders and certain cleaners get matched up together.
Yep.
So I think we're going to start seeing this tournament of sorts kind of happen here. Not saying it's a tournament per se, but we're going to start seeing like the more like one-on-one fights, which means we're going to get on the cleaner side, because we got introduced to, I think they're called the Child, like the new like cleaners that like join them.
Yeah.
So we get to see their giver powers, but then we also get to see these, other raiders that we know nothing about. So this is about to like, this whole second part of season 1 is about to open up like so much, because I think we're going to see a lot.
Yeah, we're going to learn so much about how vital instruments work in this next section.
Yeah, I think so too, and it's gonna be rad. So let's head to the pit pool. You got some stuff, I got some stuff.
Yeah, I mean we don't get to enjoy it too much, but the vibe of Don Dulce is so cool. Like the records on the wall,
it really
the,
is.
Very threatening aura, the gross looking food that seems to be enjoyable. Like honestly, that whole place could be my vital instrument. It looks like such a fun time, just hanging out with the team. They're like, yeah, after every mission, we always come here and eat. And like, that place is building sentimental memories. Even, I mean, their shelf looked pretty well stocked too. Yeah. Like this is. The Yelp reviews of this place got to be pretty high at this point.
I love the aesthetic of that place too, man. Like it really reminds me of like a mix between like a speakeasy and like a punk rock bar, or like a dingy like hip hop like venue, all kind of like mixed in one. And they just happen to like this is just somewhere that they congregate after every mission, right? So and it's really cool to see them have a moment that is outside of HQ or on the ground. So kind of gives us another place that we may see them through the course of the series.
What about you?
I brought this up earlier, man. The whole like epic Semiu moment. Yeah. Listen, she handled all of these thugs single-handedly. They thought for sure they were going to come in and cause some kind of distraction and try and be like, where's the spirit? Blah, 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 blah. Bro, she just threw a rocket back at you. The rocket you tried to shoot at her, she used future sight and she grabbed it and threw it back.
Yeah.
If that was me, I would have ran.
Yeah, that would have been it. I would have retired from whatever I was doing. I'm like,
bro, she threw the rocket that I shot, she threw back at me. Y'all got it. I'm retiring. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm not, this ain't for me.
You're not paying me enough to do this. Especially not to get like smack talk like that too. She was so confident. Right. She was like, I'm not even a woman. What? Of course I am. Like, that's how gullible you are.
Yeah, she was just, she was just a badass all the way through, and just continues to submit. Why me and so many others love her character, man. So this is a great moment for her. I'm glad that we're seeing more of her character, and it doesn't just come off as like a one-off. Because that was probably like my biggest fear for her, is that her character would just come off as being like, oh hey, we see her like once, twice, but she's actually playing a bigger role in this series, and I'm extremely happy about that.
Same. Well, there's so much going on in that episode. I cannot wait for the next one, but I know that we don't want to spoil too much, so everyone should go watch the episode.
Please.
But with that, Lee, are you ready to take us out?
Hell yeah, brother. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Gachiakuta After Show, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
The Gachiakuta After Show is hosted by Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, Leah President, and today, me, Alex Lebl. We're executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Joanna Clay, and Nick Friedman. Thank you to our lead producer, Kyla Carnero, our producer, Carla Solorzano, and our associate producer, Zoe Culkin. Open-Ended Films edited and mixed this episode's audio. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Tamika Balance Kolazny, and of course the creators of Gachiakuta, Kei Urana, and Hideyoshi Andou.
We will be back with more Gachiakuta, of course. We will see you soon here and on our main show, The Anime Effect, and there's nothing you can do about it. Later days, y'all. Thank you.
See ya.